Hi, the portion of the week, Parashat Shemot. What does it mean, Shemot? We are in the beginning of the book of Exodus. We finished the book of Genesis. A period ends, a period starts, a new king coming to Egypt that didn't know Joseph and the brothers. He made himself not knowing. So God is saying those are the names coming to Egypt. He's counting again. He's looking at the family, at the Hebrew family, at the tribe, and he's mentioning his names, their names. Well, that's amazing. That's a documentary. That's a history. That's telling you the names are in the book of creation, in the book of life. He's mentioning our names. Why? Why he's counting us over and over again? He's reciting our names over and over again. Why this idea repeats itself in the Holy Torah? To tell you something very important, and that's where you need, and in that idea you need to build your self-esteem, your self-image, your how to say, the way you look at yourself supposed to come from that perspective, meaning the Creator is counting, reciting your name over and over again to tell you that you are something very special, very important, and He needs you in this reality. The trouble with our patterns is that because we live in a world of society and האדם הוא יצור סביבתי, the Rambam is saying, which today it's his Hilula, it's his Yortzeit, he's saying that God is repeating our names to tell us that you count and you're mentioning something that is precious. You wouldn't count dirt, stones. You will count diamonds, coins. So, Ele Shmot Bnei Israel, those are the names that coming to Egypt. And what's happening in the portion? Then, king of Egypt, a new king coming that didn't know the past, Joseph and his brother. This king Pharaoh, according to Kabbalah, there are two kings within us, divine king and not divine king, meaning Pharaoh. Meaning basically you have a little Pharaoh within you. And sometimes because of circumstances and scenario, a new king arises. This old king, this king that's so centered in his interest and what he wants to receive out of life, he's coming with new ideas. So that's what's happening in the portion of the week. This new king coming with new ideas, new rules, new restrictions. Be mindful. Sometimes this Pharaoh is awakening within you and you're starting to power trip your scenario, to try to over control your scenarios. Back off. King of Egypt is talking to you. Tell him one moment. Today, in this portion, we're going to look at the word brick, levena. The beginning of the salvations, not salvation, when they became like slaves. The beginning of the slavery state starts with that the Torah is saying, וימרו את חייהם בעבודה קשה. בחומר ובלבנים. Homer is material, levenim are bricks. Why the Torah didn't mention stones? Why the Torah is saying levena? Everything within this book, every word is very precise and of a strong essence. There's a deep depth to that understanding. And when we'll understand what The Torah is trying to tell us by doing levena to create bricks in our life, not just in Egypt. Then we'll understand how to control this Pharaoh, this king, how to moderate his energy. We cannot kill it because we're not sages, we're not tzaddikim. Unless you're doing a very, very sincere work, going in the path of holiness. It's possible, but you need to be very, very sincere, retzini. So, this king coming with new rules, and after that, Pharaoh is saying, okay, all sons to the river to kill them, only maintain the daughters alive. And in this portion of the week, Moses is the birth of Moses, which is a happy portion, because the deliverer of Israel, the one that's going to help us to redeem of our reality, is being born. They cannot keep him because of the restriction, because of the rule that Pharaoh made. They put him in a basket, put him in the river, and then the daughter of Pharaoh, finding this son. Check out the divine providence. The father say, kill all sons. Suddenly the daughter of Pharaoh, finding the son. She's approaching the river to make her bath with all her girlies around her, all her servants, and suddenly she's seeing it. So she's reaching the hand, and her hand was a bit short, and a miracle being made, and she's pulling the basket, and then she's saying, he's out of the Hebrews. They know tribes. And she really liked him, and she wanted to adopt him because she couldn't bring children. And the girls, her servants around her, starting to, what? Your father say like that? Suddenly, they're collapsing. Let's say the creator is taking them off the movie. Up, don't disturb the divine providence right now. Trust his guidance. Trust the divine providence. Don't worry. If things coming into your life, bless and be happy. If something are being taken out of your story, out of your movie, be happy. It's for your own good. It's for your own sake. May we'll all learn to embrace it and to allow it to seep into our consciousness. We'll be much more joyful. So, after that, Moses is being brought up in Egypt. This is a whole chapter of his life. He's becoming a very wise one. He knows all their wisdoms. He's becoming a very powerful prince. He's probably supposed to rule later on Egypt, but then as a prince, as a leader in Egypt, he's seeing his tribe, his brothers and sisters, the Hebrew tribe. He feels for him, something in his intuition telling him there's something about those people. So he's coming to them. He's leaving his palace and he's going to see them in the slave state of being and state of mind. And that's why the Torah is internal. It belongs to us. It's not something old, because this is a manual how to take you out of a slavery state of mind, a slave state of mind that you are caged. So the leader, the prince of Egypt, going down to the people, to the slaves. And here we're learning something beautiful about life. Who's a good leader? And you are a leader in your house, at your work, with your children, sometimes with your friends. It's not good to be a leader with the wife, by the way, then big mess starts. But sometimes you are. Most of the time she is. What is a good leader? A good leader is a person that have compassion towards the other person, meaning he can identify with him, meaning he can lower himself from his state of mind and to dress himself within your shoes. That's a good leader, manhig. And at work, a person that have workers, underneath him, and he knows how to leave his office, his way of looking at life and scenarios, and to dress within the other person's shoes, he's being very compassionate. He has the ability to identify with the other person. And remember, we are all leaders. It depends on the scenario that you are at right now. Sometimes you're a leader. Sometimes you're a slave. Sometimes you're a moon receiving the light from the sun, the person around you. And sometimes you are the sun. And into the portion, we're moving, I'm telling you the portion and drawing little insights, and we're coming to understanding what is a brick and help you how to moderate this Pharaoh when he's coming with new restrictions and regulations and rules that can affect the bond between you and the Erbeshter, the Creator, and your surroundings in your relationships. So after that, when Moshe is coming down to his people, he's seeing an Egyptian bothering a Jew. He's killing the Egyptian, putting him in the earth, and he's worried that this word is going to be, known all over Egypt. And yes, like two Hebrew slaves trying to bring themselves up, telling to King of Pharaoh, telling that Moses killed this Egyptian person. So later on, Moses finding himself running to Midian, and that's where he's meeting Yitro. Yitro is going to be his father-in-law. He have a beautiful daughter by the name of Tzipporah. He wants Tzipporah to meet Moses. They meet together and they getting married. Something beautiful out of the book of reincarnation. This story between Tzipporah and Moses, sometimes we have question, how come Moses took a wife that is not a Jew to become his wife? How come? It's an intermarriage. But sometimes the things that we don't know. Let's take you back at the book, back to the beginning, to Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel fought with each other, and Cain is killing Abel. One of the things they were fighting over was that every brother had a twin, and Cain wanted the sister of Abel, and it was not allowed. God didn't allow that because the brother was supposed to marry then the sister, then it was allowed. So Abel is being killed. So what's happening? The soul of Abel is being reincarnated into Moses. And Tzipporah is the reincarnation of the twin sister of Abel. And then they meet again in the story. What is yours, don't worry. What is not. Be happy. Trust the divine providence. Don't be happy first, let go. Then slowly become joyful. So he's marrying Tzipporah, a son comes to the world, they don't do circumcision like Brit scenario happening along the path when Moses is returning to Egypt. Why Moses is returning to Egypt? Because God is appearing to him in the firing bush, telling him, you are on a mission. You are my messenger, and all the people of Israel are my messengers. And that's what we need to remember. That if you're looking for your destiny, let me share it with you. You are the messenger of the divine, a little Jedi. You're supposed to bring the light into this world. And I want to ask you, do you see something that's better than that? But take your choice. But treat yourself as a messenger. You are the prince. You are the son of the king. And as a son of the king, you received all the abilities and potential to do what you're supposed to do in life. And when sometimes you're not sure about your self-image, who am I? Just see yourself as shliach. Feel like how, say that, what does it mean shliach? It says in the scripture that shlucho shel Adam kmoto. What does it mean, shlucho shel Adam kmoto? It means that the messenger that being sent by the king, he's like the king himself. So sometimes you're feeling that the scenarios around you are too overwhelming. Just relax, meditate. Feel just this string of light above your head, like filling you up with this beautiful light and power, and telling you all that it's coming into your life are scenarios that you can deal with them. Don't worry. Be patient and discover the outcome of your scenarios. So God is telling him, the earth you're standing upon it is holy. Hamakom, the place, the space you're standing upon is holy. Take your shoes off. The Torah is trying to tell us every place, every space that right now you are at is holy. Hamakom, the place that you are at right now in your life, with all the scenarios around you and all circumstances and all relationships and difficulties you're going through, that place is the most holy place on earth, because that's the place you're supposed to be in and to draw the light into the darkness, to change bitterness situation to sweetness, to sweeten them. Remember, don't look for holy places. The places that you are at are holy. Think about it. That's where you're supposed to build your temple. So when Moses is returning to Egypt with his son, a snake meeting them, Tzipporah realizing it's because they didn't make a brit to the son. She's cutting what she needs to cut, and the snake leaves Moses. They're arriving to Egypt. He meets kings of Egypt, and the king of Egypt telling him, I don't know your God, I'm not afraid of your God. And Moses telling him, Chake, chake, wait. In Hebrew, it's a little bit different. Chake, chake, wait. And anyway, God is blessing Moses with a few signs, and he giving him the stick, the mateh, the powerful mateh that was made out of amazing stone and had like amazing powers. But yeah, the sorceresses of Egypt are not being overwhelmed with what Moses is bringing. And King Pharaoh is saying, all right, so you think you're going to take all my slaves and just go out to the desert and do whatever you want to do, like a big full moon party? Forget it. From now on, new regulations. I'm not going to bring you bricks. You're going to create your own bricks. And then Moses is approaching God, the one that's supposed to be God. The essence of God is love and light. And he's telling him, I don't see any light. I don't see any love. Look what happened to your sons, to my nation, to my people. Lama hareota la'am hazeh. Why did you harm those people? Why you made bad for them? You told me to come and deliver them. Now they have even more work to do. And that's how the portion of this week ends. And let's see how we can modify or just lower the negative frequencies of this king of Egypt within us. In every scenario, remember that you are entering into, you need to create a brick. The Lubavitcher Rebbe is saying something beautiful when he's taking and he's asking us why it's mentioned Homer ulevenim, material and bricks. Why not material, mean Homer, sand, and stones, and make something a brick? No, you had to create a new form of stone called brick, levena. Everything in the Torah is very accurate. By that, it's trying to tell us that the slavery of Egypt, this burden of the galus, the exile of Egypt, starts with this hard work of making levanim. There's a bond, there's a connection between them. In their essence, they are connected, meaning in the exile of Egypt, which was the beginning of all exiles that our tribe went through, and as well, this exile, hopefully it will end right now with the coming of Mashiach, is starting with the understanding that you need to create a brick. The work in general within our exile, in our life, it's to turn darkness to light and bitterness to sweetness. Within that ability lays the really beautiful attributes, tchuna, of inner joy. To be in inner joy, you need to tame your mind, your being, out to let the mind overcome your heart. And let's see, you can build your temple out of taking stone, something that is in nature, add to it some things, and create it. But there's things that you need to create new. And this is the brick. You need to take few materials and to create a new thing that's not exist in nature. And basically in creating a brick, levena, from the word white, lavan, you need to create a new pattern, a frame of thought. We are walking with certain beliefs, assumptions, and affirmation that leads us into our life, into our journey. And in order to overcome this Pharaoh within us, our ego, our self, lower interest, our all negative traits, and to be more successful in all that we are doing, and especially in our relationship with people and our relationship with the Creator, you need to create a new pattern, levena, a new frame, a new attitude. You need to create your attitude. And in order to create a new attitude to life, and when your attitude is different, all will be different. When the pattern of thoughts, in the beginning, when you start differently, all will look differently. So into every scenario, there is what's called the automatic state. That's who I am. That's my character. That's what I know. That's how I behave. And those patterns, I adopted them from my upbringing. Not necessarily they are right. So when you're into a scenario and you're thinking that things are going not too well, remember the first step in order to create a new, fresh reality is to remember there's always another chance, another opportunity, another way, another approach to look at the whole scenario. Remind yourself, elevate it in your consciousness while sometimes within the friction or after the scenario, after the friction, after whatever you deal with. Ask yourself, can I see this scenario in a different way? Is there another possibility? Is there another chance? Is there another choice? Is there another beginning that I can start differently? How to approach the whole scenario? Remember, there's always another scenarios. Remember, there's always other possibilities. And I'm trying to refine and to wrap it up. You want to create a change? You want to self-grow? To create self-growth? To create new patterns, frames, affirmation, beliefs, assumptions that will lead you in your journey to write an amazing book, your book of life? Remember that. Practice that. Is there another possibility to approach? Is there another chance, another choice? Elevate it. Search for it. Look for it. Okay, as a coacher, if I'll be with you, I can help you to elevate possibilities. But you have the divine king within you. He knows. Good luck. See you in the next portion.